Good morning. I feel like I've been gone forever from Facebook Live. Where did I put my? Now you know. Uh, so I have written a scripture out. That I wanted to share. I'm going to Google it really quick before we get going. I wrote it on a note card, and of course, I don't see it. Good morning, Sojo. How are you? Hope everyone is doing well. Guys, bear with me. Or matter of fact, Sojo, can you do me a favor and look up Hebrews 12:11 and copy paste it if possible? I know I'm asking a lot into the comments because I have written it on a note card and I have my paper here, but a blank note card. So I may have walked off with it, and it's part of what I want to share with you guys on this morning. It's so good. It's so good. So give me a moment. I'm going to share out with another of my platforms. And then we're going to get rocking and rolling. I feel like I've been gone from Facebook Live, forever. It hasn't been that long, but I normally come on on Mondays as well. But the first Monday in every month, if you guys who are coming on, or maybe you're catching the replay and you're like, I thought she said she was on every Monday and Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. So about 2 weeks ago, I announced that the first Monday in every month, I will not be on because I am actually with my mastermind group during that time. It hasn't been that long. Yes. And can you copy paste actually what it says? You may have done that. Let me move down in my comments. That way I can, yes, you did. Thank you. You are, listen, guys, you got to have community. You got to have community. If you don't have a great community with you, it takes a team. It really and truly takes a team. So I'm so glad that you guys are on this morning. I'm going to sign on with one more platform. I hope you had an amazing weekend and your week has been fabulous. Guys, my week has been just exceptional. And I was sharing that with one of my friends on this morning on the phone. And she just generally asked me a question, how are you? And, my comment to her was, I feel absolutely, positively amazing. And there's this thing called flow, guys. And when you can get into flow, it brings a sense of peace, into your life. Let me sign on with Periscope here. Hey, Periscope, how are you? It brings a sense of peace in your life. And, that's exactly where I am right now. And the things that I was sharing with her that were actually making things feel so great were simple things. They were simple things. But some of those simple things are really things that make life really easy and make life really good. And we're actually going to be talking about some of those things on today. So as you guys come on, if this is your first time on a broadcast with me, I am going to do a quick introduction. I welcome you. Come back every Monday and Wednesday, except the first Monday in every month at 11:30 a.m. I come and I teach salon training, business training, mindset training, personal development. I actually operate from a full circle perspective. So what I do as a transformational growth strategist is I focus on helping my clients to implement strategies that actually bring growth into their life and their business. So I am a beauty business consultant with 25 plus years as a licensed cosmetologist and 10 years as a former salon owner. So I help salon professionals and business owners to, one, get clear. It's so important. We're going to kind of talk about it a little bit on today too, so that they can put their time, their effort, their energy, and their money into the right things. And one of the things that helps them to see massive growth. Hey, good morning. How are you, Periscope? And so I operate from a transformational space. I'm not just a beauty consultant where we only talk about business. I talk about mindset. I truly believe that your mind, right? Has a lot to do with your money, and everything else that you set out to do is really centered around your thoughts and your thinking. And so I help my clients to unveil, if you would say, an expansive mindset by way of how they build their business and how they grow and what's possible for them. So I do a lot of mindset. 80% of the success that you receive is based on your thinking, your mindset. And so often our mindset has more influenced by things that we've experienced in our past that are not necessarily things that are actually going to allow us to create the business and lifestyle that we love. So we do everything to remove those limitations and those limiting beliefs. And my clients see amazing success. I am really in a space that I saw, like, quite a while ago. And to see it manifesting now, it really feels really great. My clients are having such amazing success that I saw before it ever happened. So I began seeing those things years prior. And so one of the biggest places of fulfillment, hey, Anya, how are you, dear, for me, is just seeing the growth that my clients are experiencing, and how they connect with me and say, man, this has changed or that has changed. So I'm in a really great space. I hope you guys are too. And I'm going to share with you guys some things that I've done, because I wasn't always, in a really great space. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I just was not always there. I was actually, pretty stuck in my life and in my business. And that prompted me to begin to create what I call strategies and systems that I began applying in my life repeatedly and sharing with my clients, like when I was a full-time stylist behind the chair. And surprisingly, those things began working for them. It happened so organically. I began being asked to do things in the community for the Chamber of Commerce, actually being keynote speakers at different presentations or different at different organizations, and the commencement speaker for a college. Just so many things, just from me, one, applying the principles, because when you apply the principles, whether you know it or not, people can see the change. They can see the change. You don't have to talk about it. They can see it. And you begin attracting, different people, sometimes organically, because of your growth. And so I teach a lot of those strategies and systems to my current clients now. And I also come on and share some of those strategies with you all as well. Now on today, we're talking about management. I was actually doing some things around the house and, just being grateful for even newer systems that I'm developing in, my personal life, just for stuff around the house, children. How many of you all know we need to know how to manage stuff at home as well as in our business? And so, just creating little systems and things for home, and recognizing the thick one, how are you? Just how great it felt, right? And I realized that it was all because of management, right? It was all because of management. And so one thing I want to share with you guys, as you continue to move forward in your life and your business, and you're adding new things to your life that you want to do, the way you manage your business is how, and your life is going to determine. Your friend is an artist. Oh, awesome. Is going to determine how well you do in life. And whatever you can manage, that's what you get to keep. Whatever you can manage, that's what you get to keep. And so for this month, I usually pick like a theme of the month that I share, my social media posts and some of my broadcasts. And for the month of December, the theme is management. Now, I've done time management earlier in the year as one of the focal points for the month, but this one is specifically management. So I'm going to talk about different areas of management that you can actually reflect on and look at your life and apply some of the principles and things that I'm sharing. So first, I want to start with, how when you get in flow, and what flow is when things they just feel like they're just working and flowing, and even things that you didn't necessarily plan become available to you, and they're working for your good, in your life and your business. But when you get in flow, as I said, things will start occurring like just organically. So I'm on the phone with a friend of mine this morning as I'm coming back home from taking my daughter to school. And so one of the things you guys will have probably heard me say is I don't talk on the phone on the ride to school with my daughter, right? And that's part of managing. One, spending time with her and getting her set to have an amazing day is important to me. Family is one of my top 5 values. And whenever we have things that we value, we figure out how we can manage it, right? And so managing the time that's available for she and I is important to me. So I don't talk on the phone while we're riding to school. But on the way back, I'm on the phone with one of my girlfriends, and I got like tons of notes here for you guys. I'm praying I'll have time to finish. I have someone coming to connect some things at my home. And then I also have a coaching call right after us. So I'm hoping that I can get through everything. It's really, really, really good. Like as I was preparing it, I was like, even reminders, for myself as things were coming up. Hey, Brandy, how are you? And so I'm going to ask you guys to do me a favor. If you're on the broadcast and you know that I'm going to bring value because you've been on with me before, I appreciate it if you would share the broadcast out with someone else who could use the message, right? So remember, what you manage, you get to keep. What you manage, you get to keep. And we're talking about management. So I'm on the phone with my girlfriend this morning, and we're talking, and we were talking about some of the things we were grateful for. And I was just telling her I was in a really, really, really great space in my life. And some of the things that I mentioned, being the reason, she was like, oh, those things are small, but significant. They're so significant. And then we got on the subject of the fact that she was grateful that she had time to work on her business and on her life today, and not just in her business. And I made the statement, I said, I really think anything past a good strong 3 days behind the chair as a hairstylist can become overwhelming. Now, that's for someone who has a big vision, a big goals, and big dreams. And so you may not be in a space where you can say, okay, I'm just getting ready to take 2 days off from behind the chair. But maybe that can be a collective goal for you. Because what often happens, this is where management comes in, what often happens is because we are behind the chair so much, we never really have an opportunity to take inventory of our life. You guys get that? We never have opportunity to take inventory of our life because we're so busy. We're just behind that chair and we're grinding and we're looking for the next customer, and we're there 10, 12 hours, 5, sometimes 6, some people 7 days a week, and they never really have time to take inventory of their life. And so what happens is a lot of things get mismanaged. Somebody put that in the comments, mismanaged. So mismanagement is not necessarily this thing just because you've been avoiding it, or now sometimes that is the case, but mismanagement can come because what you are doing in your daily processes and in your life consumes so much of your time, you really don't have time to take inventory. So I found the scripture, and I'm so grateful to Sojourner because I had my notes for you guys, and then I had what I thought was the index card with the scripture written on it, but it wasn't. So she so kindly put it in the comments for me. So I know many of you are kingdom entrepreneurs, and this is going to tie in heavily with what I'm talking about today. So when we're taking inventory on our life, a lot of times that allows us to see what we're doing that's not necessary, what we're doing that's not going to get us to the next level, what we're doing that's not allowing us to manage what's most important in our lives. And so I've picked like several topics on management that I'm going to talk about throughout the month. And this particular one is on managing your faith. Managing your faith. Now, can you guys hear me? If you guys, because I'm on my internet is different. Now I'm in a different space. And so I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Put a 1 in the comments if you guys can hear me. I don't see, and I am on my PC, so sometimes it's a little slow getting you guys responses. So I'm just going to assume that all things are working, and I'm going to move forward. And I'm just going to read this scripture. I want you guys to just take a moment and really soak, let this soak in. So Hebrews, did I say 12:11? I'm sorry, Sojo, if you're still on or if someone is on with me, the scripture that I'm looking for is 12:1. I may have said 12:11, but it is 12:1. If someone can put that in the comments for me, that would be super. Let me see what 12:11 was that Sojo wrote. No discipline seems pleasant at the time. Ooh, that's still good. That's still really good, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. Now, and Periscope, I'm going to switch over because I can't read my comments on Facebook. If you can join me on Facebook, facebook.com/buildwithtanya. So if you come back on the replay and you're wondering, why did it stop, hop over to Facebook and the rest of it will be there. And facebook.com/buildwithtanya is my Facebook page. So I can't see anything. I need to use my other device to be able to see comments and all of that good stuff. So that's Sojo reacting to it. Things that I mentioned, being the reason, she was like, oh, no. Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but I can't really see everything. I'm just going to push forward, hoping that it's going through, and if it's not connecting now, it will connect on the replay, and you guys will be able to come back. And maybe, no, I don't see it yet. Again, if someone is on and they can put Hebrews 1, I can type it in right here. What am I thinking? Let's see. So I thought the scripture was amazing. It wasn't my intentions to share this this scripture, but it actually, popped up as I was around the house and things like that. And I was like, wow, this goes with what I want to share, on this morning. So the scripture says, therefore, we also, it moved, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight, everything that's in the way, right? And the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. So when I read that scripture, it reminded me of management, because normally when we're looking to manage our lives and our business, we got to set aside all the stuff that's actually getting in the way of allowing us to do that, so that we can run with endurance. So I felt that scripture aligned perfectly with what I wanted to talk to you guys about on today. So first, I'm going to give you guys the definition or some words that come to mind when you think of management. So management: creating, planning, controlling, and directing. Creating, planning, controlling, and directing. And when I was writing those words out, I thought about the students or the clients who just took my Slay Your Plans and Profit class. And one of the things we did was we took inventory of all the different areas of their lives. And once you take inventory of, what's really transpiring in different areas of your life, you can better manage it, which is also the conversation my girlfriend and I were having, where she said she was so grateful for having time freedom on today, where she wasn't tied to the chair, because she could really get some things done that are going to progressively move her even beyond the chair. And so time management is also one of my top 5 values. I told you guys that family was one of my top 5 values. but not time management, but time freedom. And one of the reasons that time freedom, hey Danielle, how are you? One of the reasons that time freedom is so important to me is because I need time to think. Because sometimes we can do all of these, oh, that's Daniel. Sometimes we can do so much busy stuff in our life. Most of you would raise your hand and say, I run a busy life. But we want to make sure that the things that we're doing, the busyness, is actually profitable. So when you are looking to go to the next level or do things, Daniel, I don't discern that your question is going to really align with the broadcast. I don't. It's so early in the broadcast for what you're. I just don't feel like it's gonna align. One second. So, as I was saying, and see, this is called management too, because even on it, is it better to point out the week or go day by day? Okay, I apologize. It was so early in the broadcast and I've never seen you on the broadcast before. I think that I plan my year out like 3 months before the new year comes in. And then I break it down into 90-day intervals and monthly intervals and then weekly. And then I plan out, my day from that point. So I make lists daily of what I'm going to do. But those lists, because I plan my year out, months in advance before it ever comes in, that list aligns with what I've already planned. So I do apologize, Daniel. I thought that was getting ready to go left. And then I think because you've never been on and you said, yo, girl, I kind of thought it was going to be spam. So I apologize for just feeling like that was about to go left. Okay, please forgive me. And I hope that helped. For me, it's got to align. This is where vision comes in, and this is where management come in. You're welcome. This is where management comes in because so many people feel that so many people are walking out just everyday things in their life, but none of it really collectively aligns with where they desire to be in the future. And so they're really just creating plans for today. Sometimes that comes from a scarcity, place. You're welcome. From a scarcity place, because you're just like, I just need to figure out what I can do right now. But if you create a vision and you get really clear on it and reverse engineer it, it will tell you almost every day what you need to be doing collectively to get there, right? And so I plan my year out in advance, and then I break it down into intervals. And then what I do each day aligns with that. Of course, we're human, so things come up and some things need to be tweaked and changed. But for the most part, the things that I plan out daily are collectively getting me to the space that I desire to be in the future, which is one of the reasons I was saying I feel so great, because where I'm at with my clients now was part of a vision that I had 3 years ago. And I just reverse engineered. So how do I need, to get there? And so on today, we're talking about managing your faith. And managing your faith is so important. Angela says, yep, day by day is so important because your faith is your belief that whatever you desire is actually going to happen. So first of all, faith is not a feeling, right? Faith is not a feeling, it's a belief. And this is where many people get stuck, especially when they're working on their goals and things for maybe the new year is coming up and they're working on those plans and those goals, but they don't feel like it, right? And so faith is not a feeling, it's a belief. It has more to do with your will. And it's something that you're going to have to manage because things are going to come about. So know that your thinking is what produces results in your life. Someone put that in the comments. Your thinking is what produces results in your life. And so if your thinking is not aligned with the faith needed to get to your next level, you're going to get results that you don't desire in your life and your business. Now, this is what happens for most people. So most people think themselves out of their success before it ever occurs. So maybe one small thing goes wrong in your life or your business. It may not feel small in that moment, but you begin processing it and thinking all types of negative thoughts about the outcome of a situation before it ever happens. So that is one of the ways not to manage your faith, is to begin thinking about all of the ways that it could possibly go wrong. You guys get that? We're talking about managing your faith. So I'm going to share some other things that you guys can think about managing on our up and coming broadcast over, the next few weeks this month of December. But for today, I wanted to talk about managing your faith, because your faith is so heavily tied to your belief, and your belief builds your business. It's how you build your life. It's based on what you believe is possible, what you believe can happen, what you believe you deserve, what you believe you can create. It's based on your belief. And so your faith and belief align so much. And so I want to talk about managing that. So you're going to have to strengthen your belief system. If you want to manage your faith, remember, faith is not about feelings, right? Because many of you may not feel like doing a certain thing, but if you manage your belief and your faith, it gives you, and this is what I like to term it, supernatural energy to get things done. Because you guys know that we're spirit anyway inside a body. And so what we should be feeding the most is our spirit, right? And a lot of it is fed by our thoughts and what we're hearing and listening to on a continuous basis. So strengthening your belief system is going to be super important for managing your faith, because your faith is going to falter based on your belief. Your faith is also an act of your will, more so than your emotion is, your own internal will. So when you begin to strengthen your belief system, you actually strengthen your will to get it done. Whatever your it is, you strengthen your will to get it done in your belief system, and this increases your faith. And another way that your faith is managed or increased is sometimes through movement. Y'all don't hear me. Your faith can be managed and increased through movement. So many people are waiting they want to see change before they ever change, meaning they want to see a result before they take the first move, or they want to see the thing happening in their life before they decide to change or do something differently. But that is not how faith works. And regardless of what, religion you are, everyone has faith. Everyone has faith. It's either working for them. You either have the faith to do it or the faith not to do it. And so I had a book called Believe Bigger. That was one of a book a month that I was sharing with my social media platform. And in the book, she spoke about little me and big me, and the thoughts of little me as opposed to the thoughts of big me. And I call them our small mind and our God mind. So when the scripture talks about renewing your mind daily, it's talking about renewing your mind back to thinking big, elaborate, creative, abundance, like God originally designed us to think. So many of our faith is weakened because of how we manage it. And so here's some things that you can do to manage your faith and make sure your faith is aligning with what you desire, right? Make sure you're hearing and speaking and saying and doing things that align with what you desire. And that increases your faith, because when you make one move, guys, I'm telling you, when you make one move, when you take the next step, the other things that you need appear. And then what happens, your faith is now increased because you're like, oh, it's working. I'll take another step. Oh, that worked too. I'll take another step. And then you may take another step and it's kind of off a little bit, but you've already made so many steps prior to that were working. Is even when some of those prior steps didn't work, faith still keeps moving. It either finds the information, it finds the community, it finds the person, it does something that's going to help take it to the next level. So I said, one, strengthen your belief system. Manage your thought life, guys. This is what's going to help you manage your faith, and you're going to need it for the next level. Manage your thought life and your beliefs. What faith does is it eradicates the wrong things, right? So faith will begin to cancel stuff out that's not even supposed to be there. Wrong thoughts, those words that we're constantly saying to ourselves that we don't even realize that are sabotaging us from getting to the next level. Faith actually eradicates that. So faith helps you to overcome that small mind or the small way of thinking. I call it the old man, or if you guys are looking for scripture reference, the Bible talks about putting on the new man and doing away with the old man. The old man is that mindset that's telling us whatever it is that you desire is impossible for you. You'll never be able to make it. It's not going to work. You're not going to be able to afford it. Nobody's going to buy your stuff. That's that old way of thinking. And so you have to walk in faith because it eradicates, right, the wrong thinking. That's what faith does. As you begin to move in faith more and more, because you're managing your faith, you're like, okay, wait a minute. I'm not even listening to those small thoughts that are occurring. I'm doing this in faith. So I'm going to take the next step. You begin to erase all of the distractions or the things that were currently telling you couldn't, because you now see, because you moved in faith, that it is possible, that you are worthy, that you do deserve greater, that there is more for you, that people are going to support you, that people are going to want to buy the things that you're offering as value to the marketplace, right? Your faith actually is increased, and it eradicates the small thinking. So one of the ways to do that, guys, because life is life and things happen, things are going to happen. So you have to make a decision before faced with adversity. You have to make a decision. This is how I'm going to respond if this occurs. All those thoughts that you don't want to be thinking anyway, that you might think, just say, what, whenever I start thinking stuff like this is what I'm going to do. You make a commitment and a decision before ever faced with adversity. That way you're not spending unnecessary time battling or self-sabotaging, your success or your destiny with your thoughts. So remember I said sometimes we have a habit of creating negative thoughts or negative situations in our mind before they ever occur. And what those things do is cancel out faith. And you want to switch and get in a position where your faith is canceling out the negative thoughts. You want to switch that from self-sabotage, and you want your faith to cancel out those things that are negatively coming to your mind, or the uncertainty, or the jabs that you're even taking, at yourself about whether or not it's possible, whether or not you're worthy, whether or not you can handle it, whether or not you can actually do it. So we're managing our faith, and managing faith. We're going to talk about managing your money and several other things as the month goes on. But I picked managing your faith first because people need faith to even start. People need faith to even do whatever it is that's necessary for them to get to the next level. It's like the key and principal thing, because it's aligned with your belief. And remember, you build based on your belief. You build based on your belief or your faith, what you have the faith to do. So take authority over your thoughts. Take authority over your thoughts. You have authority, guys. You do. Take authority over them. And how you do this is being aware of any sabotaging thoughts that you're having, and then reversing that conversation so that it aligns with whatever it is you desire in your life and your business. So you take authority over those thoughts. 2, make time for yourself, guys. If you want to manage your faith, you got to make time for yourself. And this is why. In the busyness of life, we never fully have the time to really, really process, reflect, and think about what it is that we're doing. We kind of robotically do things. And this is how we end up 10, 15 years doing things that aren't fulfilling to us, that aren't really moving us to the next level, because we haven't made the time to actually sit down and just think, like, take inventory. I mentioned that before, of our lives. So this is how you manage your faith. You take authority over your thoughts. You make time for yourself. You value time freedom. Time freedom has to become important to you guys, right? If you're going to manage your faith, because you're going to need freedom from doing busy stuff to reflect, to fill your spirit, to fill yourself up spiritually. Next, and last but not least, is to take inventory of your thoughts. This is going to help you guys to manage your faith. Guys, we only get to keep what we can manage. So as you begin to do new things in your life and business, and you're adding new things, only the things that you can manage are the things that you're actually able to keep. You guys know when we can't manage it anymore, we lose it, right? We lose our grip on it, regardless of what it is, whether it's staff or our business or relationships, our children, whatever we can manage, we get to keep. And so managing your thought life is, okay, do I really need to sit down and just take a moment to reflect? And this is what my Slay Your Plans and Profit members were able to experience, an opportunity to really take inventory of their life before planning out their 2019, because so many people plan out things that really aren't even going to get them to where they desire to be. It sounds good. Maybe they've seen someone else do it, but it doesn't fit into their individual lives, right? So take inventory of your life and inventory of your thoughts. And so oftentimes, guys, we only use faith when we're in trouble. How many of you have been guilty? Like, you get in trouble and you like, you know what? I believe this thing just gonna work out. I'm just gonna have faith. But guys, you can use and should use, and for those of you who have worked with me, or you've done something, you set a goal and you've accomplished it that you felt was out of your reach, you got to know that you can use your faith more than just when you get in trouble. You can use your faith to help you move to your next level in your life and your business. So management is going to be super, super important. And remember, I said time freedom. Time freedom is important, time to reflect, because maybe what you need to work on is really your marketing. Maybe what you really need to work on is your budget, instead of some of the things that you're actually working on. And when you have time freedom, you also have time to think about your processes and the things that you're doing in your life, in your business. For those of you who are like, maybe my marketing is something that I need to work on in my business. Maybe my budget is something that I really need to take a look at. The money is coming in, but am I actually using it wisely so that it's helping me to build and grow? If that's you, I have a membership site called the Mind Your Business Beauty Camp that has a bonus course called Get Your Money, Get Your Life. It is a basic financial freedom course and basic financial freedom and budgeting course that I created from when I needed to get a budget in my life. I had about $1,000 to my name, and that was really from the week before. So it wasn't even intentional. It wasn't like I had saved it or anything of that nature. And I began creating these systems in my life that allowed me to become debt-free and to open my salon debt-free as well. So I teach those systems. It includes a PDF with a budgeting form that's going to help you to manage different areas of your life. Also, there is tons of marketing, video marketing, email marketing, social media marketing. Deciding what you need to work on is so important before you move into 2019, so that you can make sure you're working on the things that are actually going to get your business and your life to the next level. If that's you, it is a membership site. It's only $49 monthly. You get 24/7 access to all of the video trainings. There are 12 modules to that particular course. You can cancel when you feel you've gotten full value. And then I have another bonus. Once a month, I come inside a private group and I coach. So if you've been applying some of the email marketing strategies or video marketing, there's even one on blogging, MailChimp, for those of you who don't know which email service you're going to use, and possibly you're using MailChimp and you want to know some added benefits. There's a training on MailChimp, how to have a profitable consultation. Guys, I know that management allows you to put more effort on the right things. Sometimes it's simple tweaks that you can make, like having a profitable consultation in your salon that can increase your business and your revenue by leaps and bounds. just by asking a few specific right questions and setting the tone for, you know, how the relationship is going to be with you being the stylist or the salon owner to the person who's coming into your business or whatever your business is. So there's video trainings on having a profitable consultation with PDF downloads, with a sample consultation, just tons of information for business and marketing that will help you throughout the year, that will help you to manage better and create systems in your business. If that's you, I invite you to join us. The link is renewfullcircle.com. I'm going to put that in the comments here. renewfullcircle.com/ Renew Full Circle. Oh, I put in live video. I didn't mean to do that. So, oh, I'm glad it gives me an option. Ooh. So I put that in the comments for those of you who want to join. It's only $49 a month. I do have an opportunity where you can save by paying a one-time fee. I believe it's like $347. You save over $200 if you do that, and then you just automatically have access to the membership site for the entire year. But manage important. We're going to be talking about it all week long. Remember, what you can manage, you get to keep. And so the first thing is managing your faith and your belief for whatever it is that you desire that's at the next level. I hope this training has been a blessing to you all. Apply it. It's real. It's good stuff. It works. I'm just telling you the processes that I've walked through that have allowed me to see the success that I'm seeing in my life. Even at this present time and in my salon business prior. So you guys have a super, super amazing day. I will see you again at I was going to say the top of the morning, but maybe the end of the morning at 11:30 on next Monday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also that following Wednesday. If you haven't liked the page, be sure to like the page and hit get notifications so that when I'm on, you get those notifications and you can join us on a live broadcast. Sometimes I pop up on days and times that are not my scheduled times, and I'd love to connect with you, meet you right here live on Facebook. I'm always bringing something that I feel will add value to your life as you move forward. Have a super, super amazing day. For those of you who'd like to connect with me outside of social media, you can always go to renewfullcircle.com. There's actually a free training. I think it comes up on the homepage now, called the S-Curve, that will be invaluable as you move towards New Year. Management. What you manage, you get to keep. We're talking about management all month long.